where powerful show shines. Giving that vision is what's going to secure them the information they need to move around.
Well, grab the set and up and away we go as EVIL and Ignite Gaming battle it out in the 4th game of this series for a chance at the grand finals. It's still anyone's game at this point, but Ignite Gaming 1 game away from securing that spot in the grand finals.
And as we go, we see the strong mid duo of the Joe and the Valentina.
There's a little bit of EXP laners doing EXP lane things, trading blows, trading flows. As Ignite Gaming has a little bit of aggression coming into the jungle. Got Lethal Wonder getting stolen away by KELVIN, taking a lot of damage, but will be able to walk out safe for now.
And that was the beauty of having those green orbs there for the help on the side of AEZU. They were taking a bit too much poke damage there, but it shouldn't affect the flow or the rotations of the junglers, especially with AEZU needing to at least accelerate his farm against the Bakshas. Really fast clear time in the jungle.
So, in both these two teams, which lineup do you think has more of the upper hand in terms of the early game advantage that we'll see in the next 40 seconds when the turtle spawns up?
Yeah, in terms of early game pressure in the lanes, Ignite Gaming has it. But in terms of early game objectives, Team EVIL has what it takes to secure this turtle.
Yeah. We haven't really seen a lot of Kimmy pick throughout the regular season, but when it's picked up, it's usually always performed exceptionally well. In the mid game, VENN in a spot of bother, able to use that BMI to get out of the way. One more hit, VENN will pop that flicker as a valuable resource, taken away as JAYY. One more hit, Gear will solidify that kill. And there's a 2-man lockup. AEZU coming back in, DIABLO weaving in and out. Blade will pop him down as Roy will be able to use that flicker. There's a traction pulse into the fray, and Gear with the Valkyrie's Descent, cleaning up shop. 3 members down for Ignite Gaming. EVIL with a strong start.
That was a strong start indeed for the side of Team EVIL. We saw that Ignite Gaming, they had the dominance in the lane. That's why they were able to rotate quickly, but they forgot to respect AEZU's Appraiser's Wrath and how much crowd control he has to offer. That taunt, that synergy, that chemistry into that traction pulse to that Valkyrie's Descent, that was just chef's kiss because that was so on point. The chemistry was just there.
Oh, KELVIN getting taunted up by AEZU. Blazing Duet will be laid down. Not enough damage coming through as EVIL is playing very passively this time around. They've all got their ultimates. JAYY still struggling to get that level 4.
Controlled aggression shines the most in our game. That's what really dictates who's going to be winning the early game. You might have the advantage, but as soon as you play out of your line, if you cross that line, it might just be the end for you in the early game. So it's really just about having that discipline, pacing yourself, because again, as we keep mentioning, this is a marathon, not a sprint, because it's a matter of time before VENN actually scales upwards in the late game.
Hey, that's what Sun Tzu said. It's Sun Tzu's wise words. And as we get into the early to mid stages of this game, we really see how Freya pops off once you don't have Paquito standing in front of you like a thick wall. There's Electro Final Blow already used up just to clear that wave. And he's just trading blows on the top side. 40 seconds until the next turtle spawns up. Ignite Gaming playing a little bit more safer. EVIL doesn't want to give free kills over to Ignite.
Yeah, the movements from the XP laners, given that they are the fighters, they kind of have to play it a bit slow. They need to itemize first. They don't have that much team fight interactions until they have those items. And speaking of items, we are now looking at it. No one has yet built a first item just yet, but we are seeing a lot of armor penetration coming from the side of Benedetta and the Hilda on Ignite Gaming.
There's a lot of Fury Hammer builds on top side though. And then everyone's getting into position. You get a turtle spawning up in the next 3 seconds. Bottom side is just gonna go do gold lane things. But it does look like Ignite Gaming has the vision play right there. It's a 4v4. Traction Pulse won't lock onto anything as EVIL pushing and pulling. This is the Lord dance that we're talking about, a turtle dance. This is Wave of the Dragon pushing DIABLO back, locking him to the ground. We'll be able to lock him down into place. JAYY on the backside trying to delay that team fight. Roy free hitting from the back. The Valkyrie's Descent will empower Gear. JAYY one more hit. AEZU will secure that kill. The Princess Wrap onto KELVIN. But here comes on the backside DIABLO taking down Toe! DIABLO out of nowhere with that slice and dice.
When he was the first one to be set and counted out, he suddenly pops off and shows up his damage was what took them out. That is 3 for none on the side of Ignite Gaming, and now a possible turtle take. Though they are gonna play this respectfully. There's currently the Retribution is in cooldown, so they're gonna play this low and slow.
Low and slow is not the name of Diablo. He is super mechanically gifted in the way that he dodged that Appraiser's Wrath. And powerful, taking a lot of damage from Jay and Roy. He would get locked up. Venn's already rotating towards that mid side to accelerate his farming process. It's optimal farming for that Claude. As Ignite Gaming really needs to step on that accelerator and drive CS to the core. You get that core items a bit faster than this Claude. So Evil has a little bit more on their plates.
Yeah, and if we're looking at the damage, that encounter basically just skyrocketed Diablo's damage with that 20,000 damage dealt versus Gear, who's at 14. That is 6K. That is literally 2 more heroes to his belt. And now we're seeing first item on the Blade of Heptasis on the side of Diablo. So he's going to be a very hard person to deal with. But the read!
Good fight, good read by KELVIN. He knows where he's stopping at, but able to just dash across the wall. A little bit of a tricky situation, and it's all down to a little bit luck, 100% skill. As Demon Force laid down, aimed onto AEZU. But here comes Jay down in the fray, getting kicked up and stun blocked. Jay not having a good time in this game. 0-3-0 for Jay so far.
You got to respect the way Venn played that Blazing Duet. What he did was he Blazing Duet first in front, with a BMI to the back, and he BMI back because he knew that Jay was going to dive in. And then they just set up beautifully with that Way of the Dragon to make sure they get that kill.
I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted right now because Indomie just smells so good.
I know, right?
If you're in the area in the marquee, thank you again to Indomie for the sponsoring of this. You get a little bit of a free sample of Indomie if you're in the venue as well. As we're slowing things down, 10 seconds until the last turtle of the game spawns up. Ignite Gaming and Evo, they're trading their economy. It's one blink, Ignite Gaming has the economy lead. Another, you get Evo having the economy lead. So right now, Traction Pulse will not be able to connect onto any one of the members of Evo, but all the 5 members of Goon Squad are here. Gear coming down from that flank. There's the jump and kick onto Roy. They found that Kimmy, able to dash out of the way. Over the wall they go. As Gear will be able to find that back line. KELVIN actually picks up that turtle, chasing in, healing everything back up. It's so hard to break this Freya down.
That was somewhat, I'd say that was a pretty scrappy fight for both teams because it was just all over the way. It started from a turtle fight and then it suddenly became a turret dive. But all the while, though Ignite Gaming, though KELVIN was able to secure that turtle, we can see that there were so many things going on. That Wave of the Dragon was able to connect on Roy, making sure that the Blazing Duet was able to provide enough damage. But then all Team Evil had to do was just to front and back it. All the while, Venn was ready to go get out, but he was there just free hitting to make sure that he had the impact.
Gear is just possessed. He's possessed, he's just chasing down Roy. He knows that win condition. Roy is going to be a huge problem in the late game. The AEZU starts things off with the taunt. Here comes Gear on the backside. He's just taking a lot of damage. Finally able to take him down. KELVIN will seal that deal. And here comes the counter re-engage. It's Ignite. Will be able to take one for themselves. It's still a very, very close game. It's nobody's game now. It's so hard to tell as both teams are still fighting for that slot, fighting for the high stakes.
That was pretty risky movement on the side of Team Evil with AEZU not walking down the river, assuming that he's gonna be safe, and then suddenly there were 4 members of Team Ignite showing up there. It was good. It was a good thing Valkyrie Descent was ready, armed and ready to go for that fight.
Oh, nice petrify onto Venn. Diablo almost able to outplay that, but Venn's BMI difficult to take it through.
Blue team turret has been destroyed.
Now we're seeing respectful controlled aggression because Venn could have gone for more. Venn could have just like assumed that I could probably lifesteal from the next wave.
Yeah.
But then he's like, no, okay, I'm gonna back off because I know that one wrong move could cost us this series. And now Evil is the one taking the pace. The next turret is coming up. Mid lane turrets are still open, so both maps are still up for grabs for both teams.
Yeah, it's difficult for Ignite Gaming to claw their way back up, but the economy lead's still not too wide. It's always even Stevens. It's powerful, starts things off onto the back line. KELVIN's in the right corner. AEZU seals that Lord underneath KELVIN's nose. As JAYY able to get away for now. Powerful down low. DIABLO won't be able to chase this out for now. Zevo with that Lord still up 1,300 gold.
Beautiful Lord dance coming from Team Evil. Yes, they were staring death in the face with Ignite Gaming, trying to contest it. But the zone that Gear provided, the zone that Powerful just had, the mobility, they basically use their bodies. Instead of being taxed, we're going to be mechanically gifted enough to make sure that you're going to not be able to catch us with your spells, but we're going to be able to distract you enough so that our team could take the Lord.
Yeah, I think it's a good chicken bake from Evil, just splitting up those team fights and putting Powerful in the forefront. And with the Cho in your possession, you're using that Cho as sort of like a very, very slippery hero, just dashing in and out of the back line. Oh, as we speak, that's the way of the dragon. Over the wall we go. DIABLO able to stay alive for now. Play one more hit. That's a shock and lock. DIABLO falls. AEZU keeping up with the chase. He's on JAYY. That is the discipline that we're talking about. Bottom side, Gear will be able to jump over to safety. Over the wall they go. That is a one-on-one manhandling onto Gear, but you're getting a little bit too close. You can't run, you can't hide as Gear. Able to stay away from that, waiting for the Goon Squad to come down. 3,100 gold lead for the side of Evil as Ignite Gaming slowly losing that flame.
That was a spicy gameplay from Gear right there, because he was just 1v1ing a Hilda in a bush when we know that the sustain of a Hilda hiding in the grass just amplifies her health regen. But the point there was not for a kill, but all eyes on him so that all the other waves would push the turrets. And now it's the opposite. Ignite Gaming choked out, leaving them in one part of the map while Team Evil is just controlling, dictating the pace now because of that 3.6k gold lead.
Yeah, as the lead goes bigger, I think the only way that Ignite Gaming can really come back into this game is putting DIABLO on the side lanes, trying to split push, trying to buy a little bit more time, get a little bit more space. We've seen this a lot before, and with the Benedetta, never doubt him. Never doubt him. You know where he's gonna be. He's gonna be away from the rest of the team. Away from the rest of the team. Evil is going to try to suss him out. Try to give a little bit more vision to the rest of Ignite Gaming.
Exactly. Much like how Ignite Gaming has read the Fanny gameplay of Team Evil, Team Evil has read the way Ignite Gaming plays with that Benedetta. Benedetta's job, if you guys are backed against the walls, you know that the job of the Benedetta is to have and provide that side lane pressure, although reacting to the way Ignite Gaming is going to be playing.
We're coming back just in the nick of time. Lord spawning up. They know where DIABLO is, and like we said, he's trying his best to split push. He's disrupted. That's the eye for an eye. Won't be able to get that Electro final blow down to 3 members. The Petrify won't be able to get enough in to be able to get him to be able to take any one of the members of Evil out. And like we are getting back into the Lord fight, man, oh man, Ignite Gaming is finding it hard to climb their way back up.
Holy flicker. Ooh, glad that I was there.
Ooh. Gear with another flicker as well. AEZU, Big Daddy Fredry using the taunt with the Princess Wrath. That's half of CS's health taken away. But here comes the Goon Squad with the Blazing Duet and the Valkyrie's Descent again onto CS, onto the main damage dealers. But they have their eyes set on KELVIN. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The stun won't be enough as Evil takes Ignite Gaming. 2 members fall once again.
Good positioning for JAYY, but he did not have enough damage to shut down VENNN. He was just hiding in that bush. They had no info on that. But then as soon as JAYY popped out, Team Evil was very responsive, very reactive, and they were able to back up VENNN. And there was a BMI as well that made sure that they were going to survive that team fight.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Dire situation for Ignite Gaming. But if you're an Evil fan, this is precisely where you want to be. 5,400 gold at the 15-minute mark, 14.5-minute mark, so to speak. As Lord marching down the bottom side. High committal heroes, high committal gameplay, Ignite Gaming, do they have that defense capability that we're asking for?
They actually have it because they have that Zaman Force. As long as they're not forced to commit it early, they still have a lot of burst damage, especially with the Traction Pulse. If they Traction Pulse them into a Zaman Force, it's going to be a hard team fight for Team Evil to take.
Speaking of hard team fight, Blade already taken in Benedetta's ultimate. There's a lock up and a shock. Bottom lane T3 down, powerful, getting locked up. He does have the will of the dragon to save himself. Able to dash away as well. T3 in the mid lane down as well. Is Evil cleaning up shop, clearing the base, but they live to tell the tale another day.
They're respecting the high ground defense Ignite Gaming has because they know that one wrong move could spell the end for them. And right now, that is DIABLO.
Speaking of wrong moves, DIABLO able to get away with the eye for an eye. There's a lot of damage, like the final blow, and the Prisoner's Wrath. Roy down with the sliver. AEZU might fall. Jay bought a lot of time for the rest of the team to get into position. Evil ditches out of there. Gear's already Valkyrie form. Might be able to heal everything back up. He wants to go in once again. Still got minions marching in all 3 lanes. Is it Evil showing the control discipline that we're talking about as well?
Respect the very risky movement on the side of DIABLO, especially though it is a dangerous bush, it is a new bush. The way he just positioned himself, knowing full well that the next movement Team Evil was going to make was to that top side to secure that inhibitor turret on the top. It could have been worse, but that was the best case scenario that could have happened. No one went down, and then Team Evil now holding back at bay, now waiting for the next objective to take. It's just a matter of time, proper pacing, proper choking, because right now 5.5k gold lead is no joke. And as long as Team Evil could sustain this, heading into the late game, it's more or less a done deal.
It is tricky and challenging for Ignite Gaming to utilize that 4-1 composition. If they see DIABLO on the long lane, away from the main objective, they're going to capitalize on that situation, take him down. They have so much stunts and so much chase potential. Here comes Powerful, locking and kicking him back. KELVIN locked in, won't be able to escape for now. Rolls into a ball. Evil doesn't have the Way of the Dragon here. He's got a Winter Crown, and here comes Gear with the Valkyrie's Descent. Ignite Gaming falling like flies. Powerful loses the immortality, but down goes Evil. There's 2 members down. Boy doesn't have enough damage to take them down. There's 3 members left for Ignite Gaming. Evil still has that massive power, massive damage coming in through. Yes, able to take out Gear in the process. It's a 3v3 situation now. It's Evil in a little bit more specific situation to get that Lord.
It's kind of troubling right now because that 3v3 they did cost. It's a 3-for-3 trade, and right now we're looking at Team Evil. This was a pretty early Winter Crown on the side of VENNN, but it's understandable because of the burst damage that Ignite Gaming has.
Yeah.
All the while they overcommitted here because that's a lot. They were not respecting the free hit of VENNN, but as soon as VENNN started popping off with all that HP, kind of left AEZU there on behind, but then they ended up with taking Gear out of the situation, out of the equation. But now it's gonna be a calm, collected Lord dance. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Ignite Gaming, just with that one team fight, able to push the economy lead towards their favor. There's 3,000 gold ahead on the side of Evil, and this is where we see the tanks actually trying to pull the Lord away. This is the traditional Lord dance that we're all too familiar with. And I think the stars aligned as well for Ignite Gaming. When everyone was so clumped up together, DIABLO came in with the Electro Final Blow, locking them down with the Petrify, just dealing a ton of damage. Jay start things off. This attraction pulse towards AEZU. There's Appraiser's Wrath slamming it into the ground. AEZU goes down, but down goes DIABLO. VENNN has just way too much damage. Valkyrie's Descent from Gear to be able to start that chase. KELVIN's next to fall. The damage from Roy. You'll be able to reach them down. Jay will be able to push them away. There's Evil coming in for the counter re-engage. It's a 4v3 situation. Both teams are still barely hanging on, as AEZU is not alive for Evil. Might not be able to take this unless they take KELVIN down. Easy kill over the side of Evil. The kick! And the kick over to Roy will seal the deal. The Evil fans are jumping up and down. We're all too familiar with this, as the minions are already pushing in. Unless DIABLO will come up in time. But this is it. It's a full game. And Evil bringing us to potential clean sweep.